Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's free webinar from Prevention Plus Wellness LLC, located here in beautiful St. Augustine and historic St. Augustine, Florida. And my name is Dr. Chutley Wirch, and I'm CEO and founder at PPW. So thanks for joining us from wherever you're calling in throughout the country and world. I appreciate you spending time with us. We've got an hour together, but it'll probably be less. It really depends on how much you want to look at these resources and these registries and reviews and things that I'm going to share with you. So it's really up to you. I'm going to go over, as you can see by the title today, this is a brand new webinar. It's evidence-based registries and reviews and resources supporting Prevention Plus Wellness. But even if you're not interested in Prevention Plus Wellness programs, which I don't understand how you could not be, but if you're not a problem, because you're going to be learning about a whole bunch of evidence-based resources. So you can look for other kinds of programs and policies and things that are likely to be effective. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the objectives. There's just two of them. They're pretty straightforward. We're going to review the evidence-based programs, EBPs, evidence-based programs, registries, reviews, resources supporting Prevention Plus Wellness programs effectiveness. And these are going to be largely our sport Prevention Plus Wellness program for youth, of which we have a high school, middle school, and elementary school version. Our InShape Prevention Plus Wellness program for young adults, which is being implemented in colleges and community settings, even the U.S. Air Force, and even some of our other programs. In particular, I've noticed that our marijuana Prevention Plus Wellness program is listed on some evidence-based registries and reviews. So you'll be seeing those. Those are all evidence-based programs. Remember, all Prevention Plus Wellness programs use an evidence-based practices, screening, and brief intervention format. And you can see number two there in terms of objectives. We're going to identify both national, federal registries as well as state registries. So look for your state. If you're in the United States, and you have a registry of evidence-based programs that you're aware of, look for us listing it. If you see today that you're not mentioned, let me know, because I'm certainly interested in finding out if there's a state that has our programs listed and we're not aware of it. We certainly want to become aware of it and add that to our list. So this is going to be highly interactive today. I'm going to show you these EBP registries, reviews, resources. And if you want me to open the link, raise your hand. I figure if we get 2 or 3 people that are interested, I'll take a moment and we'll open it and we'll explore it. If not, we'll just go right through it and we'll be done here in minutes, actually. So it's just a laundry list of really good resources. But the good news is that I will be sending you all these slides. So you'll have these slides, you'll have these links, so you'll be able to explore these on your own time and at your own convenience. So you'll be receiving these slides. As always, you'll be receiving a link to this recorded webinar and a certificate for 1 hour CEU. Okay, so let's go ahead and start taking a look at what we've got for resources. The first one I wanted to share with you is that we have published research that we've reviewed on our website. That's the first link there. Research on sport and InShape Prevention Plus Wellness. That's on our website. It's actually at preventionpluswellness.com. And I think it's listed under resources, and you'll find a link for research on sport and InShape. But there's a link to go find that directly. Then there's another link to, by the way, I'm going to pause at this point. Anybody interested in seeing that link? If you hit the hand raise, I see a couple people. I'll stop and I'll open that link and let you, and 2 people raise their hands. So, all right, with that in mind, let me go ahead and click on it. I'll show you how this works. And again, you'll be getting this, so you can, you can check this on your own. What's interesting, right? There we go. Sometimes you have to hold the control key first, and then you can click on the link. So let me just, whoops. This will all take just a moment because I've got some of these other files, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to pull this up so you can take a look at this new resource. So if you'll just bear with me, and well, I don't want you to see that. All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this will take a moment. You'll have to bear with me. So this is what you'll see on this. This is our, again, you can see research evaluating sport and in shape. And it's just a documentation and description of all the studies, starting with sport. There's study 1, study 2, study 3, study 4, and then it goes on to in shape and also review studies. Okay, so that link is shown. So let me go back to the slide that we were on. By the way, if you're not seeing this, let me know. Send me a chat space. Send me a chat note. So that's the first slide, peer-reviewed research. The second link is on theory and logic model. So anybody want to see that? Just raise your hand and I'll click on that and I'll show you, but it's on our website, preventionpluswellness.com, under resources and under theory and logic model. And there, we got 3 people. We've got 3 people want to see that. So that's fine. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make sure that you can see it. It's going to get a little bit more efficient. Here it is. So again, this is on our website, preventionpluswellness.com, under resources, PPW logic model and theory. But I wanted to show you got 4 links here. The first link is a simplified version of our logic model. The second link is the full logic model. The third link is a chart of what we call the integrative and interconnected model for promoting positive youth development or promoting youth wellness. And the last link is actually a link to the original theory paper upon which all Prevention Plus Wellness programs are founded, which is the behavior image model. So if you want to learn about the theory, the behavior image model, or you want to look at the logic models for all Prevention Plus Wellness programs, it's on this page. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. So that was just the first slide. And now let's start taking a look at the national and federal registries and reviews that list 1 or more of our programs. The first registry is called Results First Clearinghouse Database. It's supported by the Pew Charitable Trust Foundation. And they list both sport and gave it the highest rating, and in shape, and they gave it the second highest rating for effectiveness. And the interesting thing about this Results First Clearinghouse database, it's actually a meta database. It's a database of 9 other registries, and it's got, I think, some 3,500 evidence-based programs and policies listed in the area of social policies, health policies, education, et cetera. So it's the largest registry that I'm aware of, because it's a meta registry of actually 9 other registries. So if you go to this registry, you're going to have to search for sport. You're going to have to search for In Shape, Prevention Plus Wellness, because they didn't have individual links to that pop up. So just to give you a heads up on that. Okay, anybody want to see a little bit more about the results first clearinghouse database? Just give me a hand wave. If not, we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so well, we got a couple people. So let me go ahead. I'm going to click on either of them. I think those are both identical links, but let me just go ahead and click on one of these links, and it'll pull up the results first clearinghouse database. And now I'm going to grab onto it for you and show you. And so this is what it looks like. It's a huge database, last updated, you can see December of last year. And, you know, it's Pew funded. And what you do here is you can go in, if you look at to the left here where it says search, if you type in sport prevention plus wellness and hit that, you'll see the program. There it is. There's a description right there, and you could click on it and learn more and read more about it. But if you scroll down, if you look at the left, you've got different things you could search under, various categories, settings, ratings, and now clearinghouses. Let me clear this first of all. Oh, I'm not sure you're seeing that because we sort of switched, didn't we? Oops. Hopefully you're seeing this. Let me know if you're having a problem seeing this. But in the left, you'll actually see in the bottom, these are the different registries. And sport is listed on 2 of them, NREP and Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development, but there's 9 listed there. So this is again a meta database of 9 registries of effective programs. And so really large database. So if you're really looking for a lot of programs in a certain area, this is a good database to start with because it's got, again, multiple registries under the heading of its clearinghouse. That's the results first clearinghouse database. Both sport and InShape are listed on that. Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development is a much more, it's higher standards, much more selective. Both sport and InShape are listed on the Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development database. If you click on the link under sport, it'll go directly to the sport page, and the same with InShape. So that's Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development. And every one of these registries is different. Obviously, they have different standards, they have different review processes. And sometimes they label things different. And some of these databases, our programs are evidence-based, some of them research-based, some of them the best highest ratings, some of them promising ratings. So it all depends on the criteria, and it is without a doubt a human process. So there's some error in listing these individual programs as well. I've seen mistakes made and so on. But nonetheless, I just want to show you what's available and where you could find prevention plus wellness programs or other evidence-based programs on these registries. So Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development is a registry of evidence-based programs. The original National Federal Registries and National Registry of Evidence-Based Programs and Practices, NREP, it's now defunct, but I will tell you that the list of programs is still available, and there's the link to it on the right. These are programs that are found to be effective. Both sport and InShape prevention plus wellness are listed on the original NREP database. And so you could see them if you want to by going and clicking on this particular link here. That's the original NREP. Clearinghouse for Military Family Readiness is an interesting database. Both sport and InShape are listed as evidence-based programs on this database. Has materials and resources and programs and things that are known to be helpful for military families in the United States. So it's a very interesting database. But sport and InShape are listed on this database called the Clearinghouse for Military Family Readiness. Promising Practices Network has been frozen. Sport is listed still on this database. It's available. It's frozen. It's no longer being brought up to date, but sport is listed on Promising Practices Network, as well as Child Trends What Works registry, as well as Prevention Matters registry. And here we've got, I think this is a document, Preventing Youth Marijuana Use Programs and Strategies by SAMHSA. That's the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. Let me show you what this looks like. This isn't a registry. Yeah, see, this isn't a registry. This is actually a document. And let me pull it up for you. Here's the document, again, Preventing Youth Marijuana Use Programs and Strategies. This was published in 2017 of October. And so you've got, there's your list of programs that are found to be effective for marijuana, including the sport program. Sometimes, by the way, you'll find our programs listed with abbreviated names. Sometimes you'll see Sport Prevention Plus Wellness, or In Shape Prevention Plus Wellness. Sometimes you'll just see Sport or In Shape. Sometimes you'll see Prevention Plus Wellness Sport and Prevention Plus Wellness In Shape. So if you're going to look for our programs, keep that in mind. The names vary from some of these documents, reviews. I would consider this a review of evidence-based programs, and it's from SAMHSA. So, okay, and let me go back to our PowerPoint slides. So this is Preventing Youth Marijuana Use Programs and Strategies by SAMHSA. Here is another SAMHSA document. Oh, this is a page that we put up because SAMHSA and other organizations, CDC, World Health Organization, NIDA, AAA, others, American Academy of Pediatrics, have all identified screening and brief interventions as evidence-based practices as at a higher level than individual programs. And I just wanted to mention that and show you that you could read some of this information from SAMHSA about screening and brief interventions are evidence-based because all PPW programs use a screening and brief intervention practices format. So that's not, this link here is not about a particular program. It's just about, it's about the fact that screening and brief interventions are evidence-based practices. This is Partnership for Success, evidence-based practices, policies, and programs. This, again, another document from SAMHSA. Sport and In Shape are listed on this. Let's take a look at this. I don't recall what this is again. Oh, this is just a listing of evidence-based programs. Some of these lists, it's interesting. I don't know where some of these lists comes from. Some of these lists come from original sources. Some are copied from other sources. Some are shown, like this one almost as like a separate table. And so we can see here Partnerships for Success, but you'll find Sport and In Shape listed on this, and SAMHSA's listed on this as well. So this is a rather large listing of evidence-based programs. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. And that was the SAMHSA document too. Universal school-based alcohol prevention programs, county health rankings and roadmaps. This is a online site, and it's actually a document, I think, an online document looking at school-based alcohol prevention programs, and sport is mentioned. So that's why we put it up here. Evidence-based prevention for adolescent substance use, Sport and In Shape are mentioned on this. I don't know, I don't recall which one this is. Let's take a peek at this one. Oh, okay, this is actually an article. It's actually a review. Let me share this with you. So this was a review study by, what is it, Harp and Catalano. And so it's a, it's a review study published. So you got the peer-reviewed process. And so this child adolescent psychiatric clinical North American journal published 2016. Okay, so you'll see sport, you'll see In Shape listed in this review of evidence-based programs for adolescent substance use. So I think you're getting the sense that, as I do, there's just a lot of evidence-based registries and reviews and resources out there for you. Some of them are specific to particular substances like alcohol we've looked at, or marijuana. This one is just general substance use, but the focus is adolescents. Sometimes it's young adults. So that's why you'll see all these different resources. Preventing marijuana use among youth, evidence-based research. This is another guide. This is from SAMHSA, and interesting, you got sport PPW listed as well as marijuana PPW in this particular, I think this is a document. Let me pull it up. Yes, it is. Let me show it to you. So this is an actual document from SAMHSA, preventing marijuana use among youth. There it is. There's SAMHSA. And so when was that published? 2021. So this was just a year ago. This is more recent, obviously, and good information here if you're interested in marijuana and evidence-based programs. So again, you'll be getting these slides, and you'll be able to click on these links and check out these registries, these documents, resources, these review articles, etc. Here is one on preventing substance misuse among 18 to 25-year-olds, also from SAMHSA. So this one listed In Shape, because In Shape is for young adults. And again, this is another, I think, a document from SAMHSA. Best practice programs, descriptions for youth marijuana use outcomes. Sport is listed on this, resource. I don't know what this is. It's a PDF, so you can tell right there. There it is, best practice descriptions. Oh, I didn't really share it with you, did I? Let me go ahead and share it so you can see it. Because it's very colorful. It's got that orange. Best practice programs for youth marijuana use outcomes. So that was updated April 2017. And let's see, 184 potential evidence-based programs from registries. Sport and In Shape are listed. Now, let's shift now from the federal, national registries, and let's take a look at the state registries. Let me just pause a moment. I see there's a chat note. Yeah, so Gilberta asked, will we get these slides? And yes, you'll be getting these slides with these links, and you'll get all these resources. So no problems. I'll be sending these out to you sometime later today. Once the recording of this webinar is processed, I'll send you the link to the webinar and the slides and a certificate for 1 hour CEU. So because of the attachments, sometimes it'll be sent to your spam folder. So don't email me, just check your folders. And if you don't have it, check your spam folders because of the attachments. That's probably where it's at. State registries and review. So here, if you know that about edible marijuana, you know what? That's Carmina. So I don't believe, Carmina, that I've ever seen. Actually, I'm not even sure I've seen programs that address just edible marijuana. Typically you saw, Carmina, if you've been on here, there's quite a few evidence-based federal national registries focusing on marijuana, obviously because of the legislation and changes there. But programs that have been that are developed to address marijuana typically address marijuana as a whole. Like our marijuana PPW program addresses marijuana in all of its forms, edibles and drinkables, smoking, vaping. And so I don't know of any resources that are just about evidence-based programs that address just edibles, but that's an interesting question you had there. Let me see, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other comments. because it is on the rise in Delaware. I do know that. Well, there's no doubt about that. With both the medical and the recreational legislation, edibles is, I think, a major concern from a number of perspectives. But one of the obvious ones is that children are getting these edibles or drinkables, and then they're being rushed to emergency room because of that, because of the trauma from ingesting those products. Well, look at them. They're they look like kids stuff. They're candies, they're chocolates, they're gummy bears, they're suckers, and so it's definitely, in my opinion, a major problem for abuse. So let's take a look at state registries. Now, if you've got a state registry and it's not shown here, let me know. Just email me or chat me. If you know that you've got a registry that's not shown here that has our programs on, let us know that as well. Either way, I want to know if you've got a state registry. So here we go. Washington State has a number of resources, and you can see there's 6 of them here that have sport or InShape or both of these programs listed. Both sport under number 1 and InShape number 6 are listed under the Washington State's benefit cost analysis. I don't know what you call that, online tool. Very good information, cost benefit analysis for every dollar spent. What's the benefit you get? Sport, I think, is listed as one of the most, in fact, I think it's listed only as the second most cost benefit ratio of all prevention programs. The number 1 is, I won't tell you number 1 because I don't want to promote another program, but sport is number 2. Now, under number 2 there, tobacco and e-cigarette prevention, what works? Number 3, preventing youth substance use, a review of 13 programs. Number 4, preventing and treating youth marijuana use, updated review of evidence. And number 5, updated inventory of programs for preventing and treating youth cannabis. So a lot of focus on marijuana. Washington State was the second state, I think, to legalize marijuana use after Colorado. So they're doing a great job of really focusing a lot on youth cannabis prevention. So there are some different tools and registries and resources for you out of Washington State. Here's another one out of Washington State: programs, practice, youth marijuana use prevention, evidence-based, research-based programs, and sport is listed there. Evidence-based program dashboard Montana. So sport and InShape are listed in the state of Montana. So you got Washington State, you got Montana, have evidence-based registries with PPW programs listed. University of Michigan has an injury control. I'm not sure that this should go here or the national list, but InShape is listed under as an injury control, evidence-based injury control program by the University of Michigan. Oasis in New York, their evidence-based list includes sport. So if you're from New York State, you're probably well aware of that. Prince George's County Health Department lists sport. That's Maryland, lists sport under their promising practices list. That's Maryland. Here's one that includes Texas, New Mexico, and Juarez, Mexico. Healthy Paso del Norte, promising practices. This lists a sport program. Pennsylvania Department of Drug and Alcohol Programs lists sport. So you can see these different states have different registries. They may come up with their own process. They may pull from other state or national federal registries, but just trying to share with you what you might see from wherever you may be. Here's an evidence-based registry from Wyoming Department of Health, resources for parents and teachers. And prevention plus wellness programs are listed. So I think this is one of those unusual ones where prevention plus wellness is listed and then prevention plus wellness sport or in shape or whatever is after that. Excellence and prevention strategy list. This is another Washington state listing. Sport is listed. Prevention matters. Proven programs help schools address substance use. Evidence-based programs guide from Indiana, and sport is on this document, page 12. Here's an evidence-based registry list, evidence-based guidance, substance use prevention, education in schools. This also is from New York State. So you got the OASIS list, and then you've got this list as well from New York. Here you've got a list from North Dakota, alcohol and drug early intervention programs. Sport is listed on this North Dakota list. Here's a list of promising practices, health matters in Ventura County, California, and its sport is on this list from California. Here's another list from California. This is Hope Rising, Lake County, promising practices, again, sports listed on this list. Municipal Alliance intervention list. This is Governor's Council Alcoholism and Drug Abuse. This is New Jersey, so sport is listed on this evidence-based listing for the state of New Jersey. Data share, Santa Cruz County, again, California, sports listed. By the way, if you want me to show you any of these, click on any of these, just type it in. I'll go back and click on it for you. Kansas, state of Kansas has a prevention collaborative evidence-based strategies matrix. Sport and in shape are listed on the Kansas state strategies matrix. Here's LSF Health Systems evidence-based programs out of Florida. Sport and in shape are listed on this evidence-based programs list for Florida. And we got recommendations for alcohol and drug prevention programs, K through 12 grades, Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, and sport is listed in this Texas Impaired Driving Task Force listing of recommended programs. This is a list from Connecticut. This is actually in a SCRC library, part of a library collection, substance misuse prevention and social emotional learning programs, and sport is listed, and this is again a library collection out of the state of Connecticut. Here's another list of best and promising practices, healthy communities, Indiana, sports listed. Here's a list from Nevada. This list from Nevada lists both sport and in shape and marijuana prevention plus wellness programs. So this is from the state of Nevada, the great state of Nevada. Here's another from the great state of Missouri, evidence-based strategies, part 1, mental health, substance use, in shape is listed in this registry from Missouri. And here's a listing of mental health education literacy resource bank out of Colorado Department of Education. Sport is listed as well as in shape is listed in this resource bank from Colorado Department of Education. California has healthy, I think that's Healthy Kids, not Health Kids. I think that's Healthy Kids Resource Center, and sport and in shape are listed on this resource, in this resource center. Let me know if you want to see any of these, I'll click on them. Here's a listing from Delaware, Prevention and Early Intervention Services, Department of Services for Children, Youth and their Families, and in shape is listed. So you can see there's differences. Different programs are listed in different registries in different states. And so here's another one from New Hampshire, recommended strategies to address opioid. Now, this is the first time we've seen this. We've seen substance use, we've seen alcohol, we've seen marijuana or cannabis. This is the first listing of opioid-related prevention strategies, and you've got in shape listed on this database or this registry, This is actually a PDF document from, what did I say, New Hampshire, and the focus is on opioid. Programs and practices for youth marijuana use, again, prevention, evidence-based, and research-based programs from Washington State, and sport is listed. So lots of resources from Washington State. All right, that is the long list. Okay, so do you want actually that's it. I went through the list very quickly. Any of you want me to go back to show you any of those state registries? Let me know what state and I'll go back and click on it and show you. Here's where I need you. If there was a state registry or review or listing of evidence-based programs in a state that you're aware of that wasn't listed, please add that to the chat space right now. I really want to know. You saw a wide range of state registries, but we may have missed some. There may be some out there that have registries. There may even be some that don't list any of our programs, including Sport and In Shape. That's a possibility. So let me pause and make sure you have a chance to type in if you know of a registry of or a review or a listing of evidence-based programs, EBP programs for substance use prevention in your state that was not mentioned. Type in your state right now, and we'll search for that. And again, does anybody want me to click on any of these evidence-based registries? I'm happy to open them for you. In the meantime, you can see here on the left, you can click on our collection of our ever-expanding list of programs and training, and on the right, a sample. I will give you a little heads up. I sent out a notice yesterday. I don't know if everyone received it, but we are developing a brand new program called Sport 3. And Sport 3 is going to be a 3-session program, a 3-lesson program. And what we're doing with this program is we're going to make the lessons addressing alcohol and marijuana and e-cigarettes. So we're taking the marijuana, the sport, and the vaping PPW programs, and we're collapsing them into a single 3-session program so they flow better, so that you can actually have a 2 or 3 lesson program if you want to, if this is something that's desirable for you and your young people. And we're going to make high school, middle school, and elementary school versions for the classroom, as well as versions for individual use. So that's something that we actually announced yesterday, and that's under development at this point in time. Let me see here. From New Hampshire also has a service-to-service program in the area of substance misuse prevention, treatment, recovery with expert panel review. That looks really interesting. I'm going to click on that. Well, let's see if that pulls up. So thank you so much for sharing that, Rachel. I really appreciate that. We'll explore that some more and see if any PPW programs are listed, and regardless of whether they are or not. If they're not, then we'll maybe ask for them to be listed, be reviewed and listed. So thank you so much for that, Rachel. I really appreciate you helping with that. Okay, so I'm sorry, I gotta go back to the slide. So let me just show you. Well, you don't need to see it. I was going to say we can take a look at that, but so you could reach us, preventionpluswellness.com, info@preventionpluswellness.com, 904-472-5022. And that's all I have today. It was very short because I wanted to go through those resources quickly. Remember, everybody's going to get these slides that are registered for today's session. You'll get the recorded webinar. And so please do share these widely, because I think these are really good resources, because you've got evidence-based registries, you've got evidence-based reviews, you've got all kinds of documents and resources that highlight evidence-based programs for youth, for adolescents, for young adults, addressing different substances, alcohol, marijuana, opioid, substance use in general, national, federal lists, as well as state lists. So I think it's going to be really something that's going to be very valuable to you. Let me see, somebody else answered. I just made a comment as well. Do you suggest for, let's see, excellent resources. Thank you very much. Thank you, Florence. Do you suggest for best approach for getting listed on other state registries? Do you suggest? So I'm not sure what you're asking there, Rachel. Typically, there's an opportunity in most of these registries to submit your programs, and so you submit them, and they'll review them and see if it meets their particular criteria for the registry that they have. And every one of these registries are different, as you may know, different criteria, different standards, different terminology even. So so that's that. So I don't know if you have a program or if you want our programs to be listed, but so for example, for this New Hampshire list, if our programs, let's say they weren't listed on there, you or I can submit their names. We of course have the research to let them review the peer-reviewed research, and then they can make a choice as to whether they list it, and if they do list it, how they list it. So that was a good question. Okay, and I think that's it. Thank you very much, Allison. Thank you for all being here so much. Have a great day. We will be having, I think, another webinar next week, Wednesday. So if you haven't gone to our website, preventionpluswellness.com, and dropped in and put in your email and your name, do that so you get notified of the of the upcoming webinars. Thanks so much for everybody. God bless you for all you do for youth and families in your region. Stay safe, and please stay in contact if there's something we can do to help you provide prevention plus wellness programs to your youth, your young adults in your area. Please let me know. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.